Greetings and welcome back to the channel. We have another episode of Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail British Campaign. The Dutch have decided to throw their hat in the ring. It's the 11th of November 1799. Word has reached us that the Dutch Navy is sailing to Brest to join with the French Atlantic Fleet in preparation for an invasion of Ireland. Our fleets are currently disorganised due to the Spithead and Nore mutinies, so your command will have to disrupt the attempted link-up without additional support. We have decided to split the fleet into two uneven divisions, each sailing in a loose formation towards a unified Dutch line. The Northern or Windward Division is aiming for the Dutch flagship. I don't know how to say that, sorry Dutchman. The Southern Division is heading to the rear of the Dutch line to strike the fourth ship from the end. The enemy was intending to close up his line into a solid defensive formation. Our sudden disorganised attack has thrown the Dutch plans into confusion. As a result, gaps have opened up between the enemy's front, centre and rear. Righty, let's get into it. We've got three groups at the moment. Group 1, the left wing, the eastern wing, is our strongest. It has all of our heaviest ships. HMS Victory, HMS Vengeance, the Audacity, the Minotaur, and the Astute. Astute is a third rate. The middle group are our two Bologna class ships of the line, third rates. And then the right wing is 4 third rate ships. We have the benefit of the wind, but they are getting free shots at us as we close distance. They appear to be barely at sail, and apart from firing, they're not really reacting to us. Alrighty. I've taken some rigging shock on Agamemnon, but not to worry. We'll come up behind this Dutch. Looks to be a frigate, perhaps a third rate. Just as about HMS Victory is about to make contact. We'll turn her through. We're aiming for that flagship there. I won't try to butcher that name again. But she's our main target. Looks like a first rate ship of the line, a Victory class or something similar. I'll bring up behind and we'll come up through the centre of their formation. I've attached the other two and we'll just run 2 wings. I'm hoping to cut through here before she does. She's taking shots, but at that angle they will bounce off of our other ships. Get a nice port broadside into the escort, just as Agamemnon pulls up the rear of the Orange. Pretty sedate, we're running at normal speed at the moment. This is quite a large fleet, and as HMS Victory breaks through, she's going to be exposed to the other Dutch ships. We'll get Vengeance on the other side and try and pin this flagship. Whittle down the crew numbers with some generous grape shot and start the boarding action. The quicker we can get her, the better it'll be, the safer we'll be. Then we have the Prince of Willem. These ships are running a little bit faster than us, but we'll start the boarding action, and if we get close enough, we'll throw the lines and reel them in. Turn alert out of formation. HMS Victory is pushing up pretty hard. Break everyone out of formation because she keeps slowing down to wait for them. That flagship's going to pull right in front now. Going to get away from us. That won't stop us from getting her friend behind. We've lost a bit of speed here. Pick up the sails. Their wind isn't the best. That flagship's getting away, but it's costing her a lot of men. We're getting grape shot into her rear. HMS Audacity is going to head off the rest of the formation as they turn around to try and help their flagship. She's backed up by Minotaur, who will run a different line. Vengeance is fully engaged with the Prince, but the flagship is pulling away from our larger warships. Vengeance has commenced the boarding action. That will soon come to a head. HMS Agamemnon's actually taken a lot of damage. What's happened there? And she's about to run up ahead of the flagship of the Dutch. She's in a little bit of danger, actually. We'll turn Arrogant off and we'll set up a new formation, and they'll pursue the rest of those Dutch ships. Agamemnon needs to be looked after. HMS Audacity seems to have everything under control. The Dutch guns seem to hit very hard. HMS Agamemnon is in trouble. She just took another big hit from the flagship of the Dutch fleet. HMS Victory is trying to put up a chase, but the Dutch ship seems to be a little bit faster. Minotaur is going to intercept these two at the same time. That will block the rest of the formation from escaping, I'm hoping. Audacity doing well. One of the Commodores has been killed during Vengeance's boarding action. Unfortunate, it's a high-ranked officer. But the Prince is now under our control. Meanwhile, the flagship is trying to run. She's giving good account of herself while doing it, though. Victory's going to come in to try and intercept once again. Minotaur is boarding the Rhineland. So far, things are looking to be under control. One of our ships has taken a lot of damage, so we need to keep an eye on that one. But Victory is determined. We'll catch this ship. We're not running at full sails, they are. We've had a surrender. A new ship for the British fleet. Get a crew aboard. The Astute looks like she's going to collide, so we'll turn her off that heading. Audacity needs to get underway. Victory still trying to get a good angle on this boarding action, but it looks like it's about to happen. Two more French frigates are tied up together. They're taking damage from everybody. Got a third rate, the De Ruyter, coming around, named after the Dutch Admiral Michael De Ruyter. Please don't get up me about the pronunciations. I've only recently just met a lot of Dutch people. I haven't had a lot of contact with the Dutch in my life. Apart from them discovering my homeland, my home island, Van Diemen's Land. Victory putting out damage while boarding the flagship of the Dutch fleet. Astute is on fire. That is not good. Try and board this wavering frigate here. mean, as the ships have been getting larger, it's being harder to identify them all. I've tried to keep all of our ship classes kind of similar. Aiming for a rough fleet speed of about 10 to 11 knots. Fast enough to still be competitive. Victory has victory. We'll get a crew on her in short order. Get a crew across, 110 men will do. Starting to wrap this battle up now, I think. Now that our main objective has been achieved. Agamemnon is taking a lot of damage still. We need to be mindful that she can't get too tied up. Try and cut off this little ship here out of her retreating formation. And then I think she's done for the fight. Lines are thrown. We'll pull this ship in, get her boarded. Victory is still tangled up with the former Dutch flagship. Astute is trying to board this small ship, but it's just not working. Boarding underway by Agamemnon. Alright, HMS Audacity. We'll get her back into the fight. Get her targeting the De Ruyter. Astute taking enough damage to be mindful of her from now on. HMS Agamemnon has completed her boarding action. Get her out of the way. HMS Victory is moving very fast. Astute is in the way. So is this Dutch ship, the Orange. We're now boarding her. Victory is on a boarding spree. Get this ship underway. Get her exiting with the flagship. We're not going to bother committing the flagship to a fight. The Alceste coming up hard on the Holland. Audacity's taking damage. These Dutch ships have been putting out a fair amount of damage. I'm impressed with their cannons. Bringing the Alceste up to board the Holland. Hopefully we're not moving too fast. Slowing it down a little. Victory has another victory under her belt. Bring a crew on board, get them underway. Now all of our prize ships are a little bit scattered. We'll try and get them into some semblance of a formation out of the combat zone. HMS Minotaur looking good. She's lost a couple of cannons, but she's still stocked and ready for war. Holland is going to capitulate soon. Audacity is still looking healthy, presenting a juicy stern there to the enemy though. Turn her hard to port, get her around, get Arrogant into the fight. The Harlem is on fire and sinking, losing most of her masts. Arrogant refuses to let her men get off. Holland refusing to go down, fighting to the last man. Lieutenant Zeke McCormack has been wounded in action. During that boarding action, HMS Agamemnon taking a fair amount of armor damage. Get her underway. HMS Minotaur is putting some fire across at God knows who. It's long range fire. Most of our fleet is looking very healthy. So when fighting the Dutch, it looks like I'm going to have to use single lines to try and spread the damage out amongst all of the ships. They have a lot of burst damage, so I don't want to get ships into a fight for too long with them. Alceste has won her boarding action. Holland is now part of the British Empire. Get them underway as well. Agamemnon and one of the prize ships are going to have a collision, but I don't have time to look just now. Trying to cut off the last of these Dutch ships before they flee the combat zone. Starting a boarding action, HMS Ardent's Marines are ready to go. Lines are about to be thrown. HMS Audacity throwing fire at the remaining healthy Dutch ship. We've stopped dead for some reason. That sometimes happens with the boarding actions. Usually when they're in formations. Learned a lot of little micro tricks throughout this playthrough. It's 25th mission, this one. I've been spamming these videos, but they have been a lot of fun to make. I hope you're enjoying them too. We really have been making colonialism great again. And being the ultimate privateer, courtesy of His Majesty. We're not boarding the De Ritter, but she's about to get cut off. Now we are boarding. Lines are out. Men are swinging across. Bayonets ready. Audacity is moving up to put fire support from the port side. The Dutch are regretting ever leaving their port. Brest doesn't seem like such a great destination now. Astute has taken lots of damage. Whoa, they're wavering. Lots and lots of damage from Astute. Alceste has Nassau under the waves. We've had a surrender. Another Dutch ship has surrendered. The Ghost of Michael is upset. His namesake has been rebranded. The Purissima Concepcion, a stolen ship that we are yet to rename. She beached herself during the Nile naval mission. Getting some fire onto the Alkmaar, third-rate Bellona class. Nassau is seriously considering whether she wants to be here or not. British ships on either side of her decks. HMS Astute is taking serious damage, with the wind now changing to the east. The boarding action by Purissima Concepcion is underway. We've experienced 4 different countries that we've fought. The Spanish, the Dutch, the Americans, and the French. It's been a very, very fun campaign. I'm glad I sat down and gave it some time. Astute is in some serious trouble. She needs to get that boarding action underway. She's got no armor left on the port side now. And her pumps are down, so she's at serious risk of sinking. Starting to list very heavily there in the wind. The Alkmaar has surrendered. Another ship added to the long list that we have. British Marines crossing the deck and taking control. Nearly every officer in this fleet has had his go captaining a ship at some stage. And the rest have all perished in glorious boarding actions. Now that the mopping up operation is complete, 13 ships, we captured 10. Sunk the other 3 because they were useless to us. We did a great job. 6,300 Dutchmen saw their end at the end of our bayonets. We did lose 3 experienced crew, 3 officers, 2 commodores. And we captured a lot of trade muskets. So our first combat against the Dutch saw us taking their first-rate Victory class flagship. That's a pretty good match. Plus we took 10 other various third rates and other ships. A couple of frigates. Very, very nice. The Dutch are going to really regret getting involved with us. If you've enjoyed this video, leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode of Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail. Commander Tyrael, out.